Hello everyone, welcome. We're going to see if we're going to see this, because this is going to be our crazy one. Welcome to the Super Late model series. Super Lates are kind of one of the more crazy cars. Let's look at some different camera angles, because we're going to see some wrecks. These cars are crazy, they have torque, they have power. We're looking at about 550 horsepower in these cars, and we're going to refresh these textures. One second. There we go. Now let's look at some of these paints, because we got these paints working this time. And these are some good looking paints. Let's take a look at some of these. We got them all working. Now, tonight we're at the I think it says Lanyard or stay Langley. Well, whatever it is, it's 150 laps, and let's take a look at the racing. At the I haven't changed it from the last one. Apparently, I changed it. Didn't want to switch. So this is from the last one. It's different racetrack and everything. It changed. It is Lanyard. It is not the Spring National 150. It is the Octane, high octane 150. Excuse that. But we got some good temperatures. This is a good track. Really good track, actually. And the best part about it is these cars. Now, before we were actually in the stream, we had some good wrecks. We saw some people spinning around, getting these cars going. Now, this is the best part of practice, is we actually get to see a good race and not just spins. But there are going to be cautions. Let's take a look at some things really quickly. If I go through here really quickly, let's take a look at the ticker and the tower, whatever. Let's just look at last laps. Not wanting to show what I wanted to show. However, I can just pull it up this way. Last time for the tower, 14.46. We got two drivers getting some really good lap times, a couple drivers getting some slower lap times. Let's take a look at some best times. 13.83. Ooh, and that's a spin. And that's what I mean. It's got some torque. Let's take a look at this really quickly, because this is what I mean by these cars have some power. You get too early on that gas, it just spins, and there is very little you can do to save these, because they have so much torque. And usually on some of these cars you can just throttle them back. With some of these you can't. They got a lot of just crap ton of torque. I would pull up the power on the iRacing thing, but it's going to be difficult to do. About It's crazy because these cars have such little torque and such a lightweight body and such a it's the package is what makes it crazy. Because you'll see these cars can turn. If you were to take a, I don't know, say a Xfinity car or a Cup car around these tracks, they wouldn't be able to corner like these ones do. And because of that, that torque is what kills them. Because they corner like they do, you get on the gas too soon, they spin. And that's what's going to make this racetrack fun, because this is a short track. Lanyard, Langley, those two are some of the ones that come with this with the software iRacing. You get Lanyard and Langley right off the bat, I'm pretty sure. Great ones to learn on, but they're unforgiving. And we're gonna see what we can. We're gonna see what they can do here, because it'll be fun to watch too. Let's take a look at what we got here. Not there. Again, last laps. People are consistently setting some good lap times now. Some of their best times are in the 13s. 13 seconds, solid laps. Here, it ain't gonna matter what you got though. 150 laps. 150 laps of this track is gonna be a little bit. It's mostly again tire saving. Oh, that did not do what I wanted it to do. And that is also not doing it what I wanted to do. Well, we'll see what we can get. We have got some of, again, torque is going to be the killing part of these cars. And power saving. So we're going to get to it. And I'm going to have to cut off the broadcast for just a quick second. I got to fix one thing, everybody. I'm going to go back to the intro and start. You're not going to hear the music. You're just going to see this blank screen for a split second. Give me 1 second, everybody. Sorry for this quick intermission. It's just stuff isn't wanting to save on this software. I apologize, but we will get this fixed in a quick second, and we will be right back to what we had scheduled for today, which is, again, the high Octane 150. It'll be a... should have it all fixed now. There we go. Everybody, we are going to be back on schedule and showing back up to not this. This can go away. Again, this can go away. I'm apologizing. I'm not great with this. But however, this is what I wanted to show you. We now have everything set up here, and once we get there, we can go to the race info. Again, it's not showing, but we are on week 3, by the way. Last week's stream didn't work as I was trying to get situated where I could pull up a video of it, but it ain't going to want to show up now. It's going to show up a clip, but if I can... I will pull it up over here, apparently, and tell you some of the results. Because we have these posted in our Discord, which you have in the description of this. If you are wanting to join us for some races, you know, we always have some different things, different groupings and everything. So, last race, we had a first place finish from the number 37 car, it seems. Yes, the number 37 car of Matthew Daly has finished first last week, and the number 51 Fabian finished second at Langley, and then third was Nickel, which is the owner of the Discord and everything. He's gotten everything situated for us. And if we look at the fourth place finish, it was Richmond and the number 71 car. It's about the best I can do right now because it's not want to pop up some video clips of it. We can get that situated for the next one. I will show you some of that because they posted parts of it. We had some situations with the broadcast not wanting to work where we would have had it all broadcasted. However, it was another thing like this track is very similar and different in its own way to Langley. Um, Similar distance, similar driving style. As we watch the 89 turn itself around, again, can't save these cars. And we are at 8:10, which means we are about to start qualifying, everyone. Now, well, let's just start it. Once they get done with qualifying, we will go to the grid and talk about some of these people because at the moment, our standings in this series, we are 2 weeks in. We have a total of 11 races. We are 2 races in. We have Richmond in the 71 car at the number one standing in the series so far. We have Nickel in the 47 car in the number two standing. We have the 5 car of McDermott in the third place position in the standings, and Allen is in the 7 car in the fourth, as well as Lane in the 88 car in the fifth position standings. Now they are about all within less than 20 points of each other, and the way these points are working is it's a traditional points. I mean, you can look into that. I will have to look into that, and I will give you all a whole rundown of the points running going into the fourth week, which should be about a 3/4 of the way through or I mean a third of the way through our racing for this season, which is season 2 of the late model tour. So next week we will be going to USA International, which is a much longer track. It'll be an interesting, completely different racing style. After that, it's Martinsville, and then after that, it's Martinsville. Then we have Concord. Then we have Thompson, Oxford Plains, South Boston, Bristol, and North Wilkesboro. The thing is, I think we have. These are the races after we cut one out because there was supposed to be 12 in the original. We delayed back racing a week, if I'm correct. The best thing to say is Bristol's going to be fast. North Martinsville is going to be kind of crammed. And I think these first 3 are going to be our traditional races of you would see at a short track. Lanier is a 3/8 of a mile, Langley is 2/5, and Southern National is 2/5. After that, you get USA International, which is 3/4. Martinsville is a half a mile. Concord is half a mile. Is Concord half a mile? That's crazy. Thompson Speedway is 5/8 of a mile. And Oxford Plains 3/8. South Boston is another traditional 2/5, and then Bristol's a half a mile. And then North Wilkesboro is again a 5/8 of a mile. These are the bigger tracks. We are at the smaller ones right now. Again, it makes a huge difference in the way we race and the way it's going to play out. Now we can go back and we can watch some of these if people are actually driving. Watch the number 93 take a couple laps at this point, and then we can look at the grid after it all finishes. That is a Dodge, which is a nice one to see. That's a nice paint scheme. We do have some nice paint schemes here. And so far, it seems that we have all but one who has qualified. This is number 73, I think, who is not qualified so far. And if we pull up the tower, no, they have... Yeah, there's 13 cars in this grid. And the number 73 is the only one to have not qualified so far. And we've got some 13-second qualifying, and that is crazy. 13-second qualifying is a little bit on the odd side because just if you look at it, we were having consistent 14-second laps. And then we have barely into the 14:09 second for actual qualifying. They're getting better at this track. This is going to be a good race. We just got to hope for a solid green flag run. Because once you get in the green flag runs, I mean, it's another track. It is like Martinsville is in the Cup Series. Tempers get high because everything gets jammed. And it's not really going to get tempers are going to get high. People are going to get pushy in their own way. Because, again, short track. Very short track. These are the smallest ones we're at, are the 2/5. And we have a consistent amount of these on the schedule. We've been through, this is our second one, and we have only one more 2/5 track 2/5 of a mile track on the schedule. Most after that are 3/8, 3/4, or 1/2. And we have 2 5/8, which is Thompson, and Thompson's going to be a crazy one to watch. Thompson is a good track for modifieds, and it'll be a good one because it is good for modifieds. Modifieds have a ton of torque and a ton to go through these corners fast. Modifieds have more downforce, it seems. However, these super lights don't have as much downforce because they are very spinny, and Thompson's going to be a good race. That will be our other weeks. That'll be race 7, which is May. But right now we are at Lanier. Lanier's a 3/8, I apologize, not a 2/5. But it is a slightly bigger one, and it is going to be a traditional 2/5, 3/8. And if we continue to look at all of this, it will make a consistently... This means consistent for like what you would actually see in a super late model or a late model race. If you ever watch them, you see a lot of pushing, and that's what you will probably be seeing here because of the fact of these guys are not going to be in. There's only 150 laps. We don't have much room for playing around. If you get wrecked, you get wrecked, and that's what you can't wait for. You have to get to the front of the pack, and we're going to see that. Now, everybody, let's take a look at the grid for today's race. We have Jamie Wright in the 89 car. I think Jamie Wright is in our position of 9th position for the standings right now. And Richmond is in the first, and Nichols in the second for standings right at the moment. And they are starting first, second, and third. Fourth is Daly, who seems to be in the lower part. Not lower, he's about the same as Wright. He's in the 8th standing right now as this series continues. Allen is in the 4th position in the standings right now. He is starting 5th. And Fabian is in the... he has missed the first race, and so he is in the 10th position, but he is in the 6th starting here. Lane is in... Oh, we have a pile. We are trying to go around people at the starting of the grid. That is not a recipe for disaster. This is going to be an interesting race, everyone. And again, we have Lane, who is in the 5th position, in the series running right now, starting 7th. Now, taking a look at the others, we have Poffenberger in the 12 car in the 8th position. In the 9th position, we have Hannock in the 13 car, Hendriquez in the 55 car, as in the 10th position, and then the 11th position we have Donati in the 93, Olmsted in the 29 and 12th position, and in the last position we have Targi in the 13th position in the number 73 car. Everybody, we are going to be starting soon, as it is about to go green. Let's take a look at this field as it starts. Now let's go up to the leaders. Leaders, 89's car stays in the front for the first little bit, 71 right up on him. Let's take a look at some of these other cars side by side for the first 2 after them. 2 staying side by side. Nickel and the number 37 car of Daly staying side by side for the turns for the first lap or 2. Now, if we go through these turns, seems like Nickel is going to get a bit more in front, and he is going to... 37's going to dive in. We had the first caution of the day. Let's take a look at who wrecked. It was Hendriquez, it seemed. Hendricks. If we go back and look, see what happened, it must have had something to happen in the back about... Oh, and it must have been a decent one, because that looks rough. Now, if we're looking through here, they're going to be coming through here pretty good, and... Oh, it wasn't him that started. 13 spins out, 2, and they're just piled up. Let's take a look at who is involved. Number 13 of Hannock, the number 55 of Hendricks, and I apologize, I can't speak today. And the number 2, is that? Which car is that? That's a display number. But that is the number 12 of Poffenberger, as well as the number 93 of Donati involved in this one. So we go back to the live view. Let's go back and look. The leaders have stayed in the similar position. 89 of Wright in first, 71 of Richmond in second, and Nickel in third, as well as Daly in fourth. Going back to Allen in fifth and Fabian in sixth, as well as Lane in seventh and Donati in eighth. If we round up the top 10, it's Poffenberger in ninth, and then Targi in 10th. And then we got some of the others that were involved in the wreck in the back, 3. Seems like we're about to go green as the lights on the pace car have gone off. And let's take a look at how this starts back off this time, because we have had our first caution about 6 laps in. And they are door to door in the first two positions, and they're starting off, and we are back green now. We're back green. 89 gets a good run, but the 71 goes wide and gets a side by side, door to door. First 6 cars are door to door at this point. We're watching as they're running. Oh, and the 51 got it. First 4 cars door to door. 89, 71, and 13 is coming back up on the track. 89 gets in front of the 71, and we are back in single file for those 2 cars. 89 gets pushed a little bit by the 71, it seems. And we watch as Nickel is back, and Nickel gets hit. Nickel got pushed around there. Let's take a look at that one. That was, he missed his braking point, it seems. Or Nickel slid up the track, hit into the 37. 37 could not brake at that point. Into the wall. Nickel is back about 9 positions now, as we are now in our second caution of the day. Only about 10 laps in. We now have a couple of different positions, though, as the 89 and the 71 are starting in the same positions they started in, but Fabian is in the 3rd position, as well as Alan is in the 4th. Oh, it seems Daly is still in the 4th position, and Alan is in the 5th. Apologize, it's shuffles after the wreck. However, though, Fabian has moved up 3 positions in the 8 car. I'm going to have to watch this car throughout the race. He'll be the 51, actually, not the 8. He's counted in the 8 as the 8 on here, but he is the 51 car. 37, getting a little bit pushed around. It's hard to keep these cars on track sometimes. And people again, tempers get high here. Now, as we watch, the lights on the pace car are still on right now. We're coming on, I think, some of our pacing laps are coming to an end, as we are going to hopefully go back to green flag racing soon. Let's take a look again at our field and see who has already been involved in a wreck. These 3 have been involved in a wreck. They've been involved in a wreck up to the 8th position. Everybody's been up to the 8th position, including the 8th position, has been involved in a wreck. And the lights on the pace car are off. We are about to go back to green flag racing in a second, as the pace car is going to pull off onto pit road, which is right here on this track. They're about to pull off in a few seconds, because pit road is a bit odd on this track, and as the pace car pulls off, and the number 89 and the 71 are door to door. 89 gets a good start there, and we are back to green flag. 71 gets a good run to the outside, and 89 and 71 are side by side yet again, running side by side on this track for lead position at this point. 89 gets a good run, and 71 back through the corners, back and forth. 89's good in the straight. 71 gets a good run in the corners, and can't tell who's going to get it at this point. They are right up on each other's bumper. Good racing right here. See what happens as they are right up on each other. And we got you got another car in the back of Connor Hannock. That was Donati actually at the back. He is the back of the lead pack right now. And the leaders are coming up on him. We've got the first little bit of lap traffic right now. See what the leaders are going to do right here. Are they going to lead off? Are they going to try to pass it? Or who's going to make the good pass here? Or somebody going to wreck and we're going to get another caution, because we are 18 laps in now. We've had 2 cautions already. Let's see what happens here. Good racing here. Let's take a look back farther in the field as the number 7 car and the number 2 car and the number 37 car are all kind of running side by side. And the 55 has a bit of front end damage. Can't get a good run, it seems, as he's a bit off of the pack. And let's take a look as the 71 goes to the inside of the 89 as they're approaching lap traffic. 3 wide for a split second, and the 71 back to the inside. It bumps the 81, and we're back to the same positions, but 89 got a little bit of a check up in the hip there. Hit that side of that car right there, and it ain't going to do much, but it's going to make that 71 be a bit more weary of that type of approach, because that 89 was coming into that corner, and they went in a bit too much. Now, we got at that 93 car of Donati up in front of them. They're approaching on him pretty quickly, as Donati seems to be running Donati is running around a 13.65 lap time while the leaders are running 13.55 and 13.52. Are they going to continue to try and catch up to him, or what's going to happen here? Because one of them is going to go for it, because one of them wants to defend the position, and one of them wants the position. 71 up on the bumper. Where did Donati is lapped now. Targi is... We are back up in front, and there was another car I saw up front that was not Donati then. Take a look at this from a different view, as just the track as a whole. Those two, you see the two cars going into turn 1 right now. That's the first turn right off the start-finish line. Those are our leaders. That is the 89 car of Wright, the 71 car of Richmond, as they are still the first two cars as they were when they started. Fabian has still moved up 3 positions, but hasn't tried to make a move at this point. The 13 car was the one I was talking about. 13 car of Hannick is now 2 laps down. Let's take a look at the gaps now. Gap between these guys. Yeah, Hannick is now 4 laps down. I apologize. Must have went for... He had to pit during the wreck. And we're going to look at this for a little bit. And consistently running right up on each other. The first 2 cars are right up to each other. And then you have a bit of a gap up to the number 51 car of Fabian. Or number 57 car. Yeah, 51 car. I apologize. It looks a bit odd. And we are back to the 3rd caution. Let's see who started. What happened with this caution? What happened this time? May have been Donati. I don't think it was. I think it was the number 2 car. That's who it was. We can watch it from here, though, as it was these 2, or these 3 that were involved. 37 hit the 2, and then 2 spun out slightly. Already had a bit of front end damage, and we are at the 3rd caution of the day on lap 32. We're now pacing. Donati is going to get the lucky dog and pass around, as he is going to be back on the lead lap in 13th, or rather 12th, because he's going to be behind Hannick, but Hannick has pitted, so he's going to be behind them, but he is going to be the first car onto the lead lap. I mean the last car on the lead lap. I apologize. The first car that has been put back up on the lead lap. And see what is happening here. Richmond was in the front, it seems, when the... Was he in the front when the caution flew, or was the 89 in the front when the caution flew? I cannot very well tell, because they are running side by side, and it is about to start. It seems like the 71 was in the front when the caution flew. First change of position we seem to have had in those first 2 cars and the entire race. So we're going to see if they can capitalize on it, or if the 51 car Fabian is going to capitalize on it himself. We also have the 37 car of Daly, who has still been in the same position of 4th this entire race. Now, the caution lights are off on the car, and we're going to go on board for this first bit of the start with the number 71 of Richmond, as we pull up the overhead ticker, and we go on board for the first couple of laps. And you can see the difficulty of these cars just by the way they're driving. You can look in the bottom left corner, and you can see that's the RPMs of these cars. You can tell the torque just by the ability for these cars to climb up those RPMs as fast as they are. You could feel that car sliding just in the camera. Now, as we go back, we can look back at these tickers. The 71 car has gotten a huge advantage right now. I don't know where he took off at, but he did. We went on board for that, and he got a huge boost. Now, let's take a look at this and go back to the number 2 and 3 position, as Fabian is right on the bumper of the 89 car. See what he can do, if he can gain another position, as he's already up 3. Up in that beautiful Dodge super late model, and we have another Mustang in the front of him, and got a couple other different brands up here. It won't tell you them, but that is these are some beautiful bodywork and beautiful just in general paint schemes here. They've done some great work in the trading paints situation and everything. That 88 car seems to be missing its whole front bumper, we're going to see how that's going to affect him this whole race, because he's real slow, it seems. Let's take a look at some lap times. Take a look at that. The 88 car, take a look at some lap times, as the 88 car seems to be going a bit slower than the rest. Bit slow, and he's hard to pass because of he's just bulky at that point with his car messed up. Now, if we go back up front, Richmond still has about a 33-second gap up on the, well, now it's about a 50-second gap as he goes through these straights. He's getting a good run on the straight, but not as great through these corners, it seems. But it seems to be that the 71 is doing really well once he gets in the front with that clean air, or whether it be that, or whether it just be the fact he's not battling anyone at this point. He's getting the lead. And now that he's caught up to the lap traffic, he's back up with Nick Donati, who just got back up on the lead lap. Is he going to get lapped again? We're about to see. As 71 pulls up to the bumper, the 93 of Donati, who is already about to go back a lap down after just being put back on it, put back on the lead lap, and he is about to go a lap down again. 71 passes the lapped car, and the 93 is about to be between them. 93 between the 89 and the 71. Slight bit of discombobulation there, so that's going to mess up the 89's run for that corner. And it's going to give him a bit of a slowdown for this next straight, as we see right there. If we want to go back, we can, but you can see it. As he went in, he scooted, his tires scooted, and everything kind of messed him up there. As we watch this all happen, you watch that 71 gets a really good run onto these straights, and 89 is really good into that corner. Focuses entry, exit's not as good. But that entry makes your exit. And that 71 is getting some really good one of those. 13 cars about to get lapped again. Slightly messes up the 89. Seemed like it slightly messed up the 89's line again. As they're going through lap traffic, he's going to have to adjust his line if he wants to catch the 71 car. That 71 is getting some good lap times. If we go back, it seems like he's getting some consistent lap times. The 89 is consistently getting faster lap times, but cannot pass him because of the way he is driving. He'll pass him eventually, but it's going to take him to find the perfect opportunity. Right up on the bumper, can't make it move. Right up on the bumper, can't make a move. See if he can make a move this time, because he's right up on him now. Right up on each other. 89, 71, still battling for that lead position. They have been the whole race. About a 2-second gap back up to the third position. We're going to watch this, because this is going to be the heat of the race. And if we go back, we can see the third position, fourth position, and fifth position are all spaced out. We've got the backpack, which is also a bit of a mess in a battle. But if we look at these guys, they are battling for that lead. As we come back up, they're about to lap another car. Number 55 of Hendricka's is also been lapped again. It seems to be, that's his first lap down. 89, 70, on the bumper of the 71. That, getting him loose out of the corner, give him a little shove there, and that is short track racing for you. Side by side out of the corner, bump, door shove, and 89 is back in the lead where he started. 71 is back in second position. As we are back into lap traffic, and the 89 got his line messed up by the 13. As we go through some more of this lap traffic, because we are in the heat of the lap traffic. If we look at it, everybody's right here, and they are going through it. The 89, the 71, running through lap traffic. This is a good battle right here, everyone. We got the Mustang, and we got the, well, unmarked, and the 2 car spins around the 71. 71 is now about a 1.84 of a second off of the leader of the 89 in Richmond. Wright, my bad. Wright is now the leader, and he is miles ahead of the 2 that slightly tapped Richmond and gave him a bit of a mess up there. It messed him up, spun him around, and you can see it too. It hit him, and it hit him hard. It messed him up. And it's not going to do much, except it's going to screw up his line, it's going to screw up his momentum, it's going to screw up his groove. That was a hard hit. He saves it, gets a good run, and gets back up in front of him. Temperament is high right now. And you can see we're about halfway through the race now. It's 62 laps out of 150. 75 will be halfway through. We're almost there, and we've had a longer green flag run at this point. And the 89 and the 71 are there, and we got a couple that are laps down. The 8th place and above are on the lead lap, but not by much, as we are coming up on Targi in the 73 car, who is right in front of the 89 car of right, as he is attempting to lap another car. It won't be for long. Oh, we have another bit of a wreck into the wall. I can hear it. You don't see it, but you hear it at this point. 13 car is about to get another lap down. He has some damage to that car, and it's messing him up at this point. It's probably body damage or aero damage, and it's not going to be easy for him to continue making some consistent lap times. 89 on the bumper, the 73 and the 88. As they are both on the lead lap, this is going to possibly put them a lap down if we don't get a caution soon. And the 89 is going to pass the 73 and the 88 at around the same time, which is a double pass in a short track is kind of crazy. And he's going to go through the 73, 88. Both are being put down a lap now. And there are now 2 lapped cars between him and the 71 of Richmond. And we are now at our 4th caution of the day. Let's see who had that one. It was Hendricks, and was it a spin into the wall, or somebody spun him into the wall? That's what's going to be the question. And that was a 93 of Donati right behind him, and you're going to see a slight wiggle there as they go into the corner. Donati taps his rear end as he was going for that line, and the 55 just ends up in the wall there. Just hard racing. Nothing spiteful there. It's super late, so you can't expect much except hard racing at this point. Now, it seems like our leaders have pitted, as in, we have... Either they pitted or something happened. Yeah, they've pitted. Wright and Richmond have pitted, and Allen is now in the 1st position. He's going to have to pit at some point, probably, because tires are going to be the killing factor at this race. 71, halfway through the race, pit stop and a caution. We aren't going to have green flags, which is very much anticipated. We wouldn't have any. But we have 2 cars that are consistently started lower. Allen started in the 5th position, and Targi, who is the car behind, who is car lat. Oh, they're out or pitted too. Last car to pit is right now is noted as the 4th place car, but will be a little bit behind that. However, the 55 car is back on the lead lap because they stayed out. However, it's going to be a difference for their tires to start in that position. And we watch as we're back green at Lanier. The high Octane 150, and is continuing. We're about halfway through, everybody. If you're just tuning in, again, this is ARC, Auto Racing Connected, and we are at, again, Lanier, and we are at the high Octane 150. This is week 3 of our Super Late Model Racing Series, and we welcome you. If you were just tuning in, of course. Oh, and we were watching as 37 spins into the wall. 2 hit him. Okay, that was... Let's go back and look at that. 55 almost hits him, almost collects the 2 again. As the 2 spins the 37 into the wall. We just got back out of a caution. We were back into the 5th caution of the day. 75 laps. We are now halfway through this race. Yet again, another caution. 5 cautions, all spread out, not very evenly though, as we have some people on some new tires, some people on some very different amounts of laps on each tire. We got people 1 lap, 2 laps down. We only got a few people on the lead lap right now, and after that caution, it's going to save a couple of people right now. However, let's see what happens at the end of this race, because right now we have Allen, Wright, Richmond, and Lane as our lead lap cars. All 3 of these cars started in the top top 5, or well, rather top 10, because it seems the lanes started in 7th. Richmond and Wright in the 1 and 2 positions, and Allen in the 5th position. As we're going to see them start off here, and as we are now, the lights on the pace car are off. Are off, yes, and they're. That means that we are about to go back to green flag racing as we pull back around and the safety car is back in, and we are now about to go back to green, and we are back to green flag. Everybody, now 7 is back up front, but the 89 is going around him door to door as we go back into turns 1 and 2. Down into turn 2 and 3, the 89 is slightly ahead of the 7 as the 89 gets a good run, and the 89, Jamie Wright in the 89 car is in the first position where he started, and the number 71 of Richmond is trying to get back in position where he started, which is second, battling for the runner-up position. Slight bump from the number 7 of Allen. The number 71 cannot get through. 71 door to door, and they are right through it. Turns 3 and 4. 71 gets a slight run. 71 is back in front of the number 7 of Allen. The number 93 of Donati, a lapped car. 2 laps down is right behind the number 7. And we're going to see what happens with these leaders, though, because these are the leaders we've been watching battle all race. Number 89 and number 71 have been back at each other, and the 55 car is a lapped car that's going to mess up the 89's line, as lap traffic is going to be hard to navigate through. They cannot move. It's not their purpose to move out of the way. It's to continue their race. However, when you get there, you have to go around them. And the 89 and the 71 have to work through that. And that's going to be the difficulty. As each of them having a unique line, the 89 having a more unique line than the 71 is going to have some problems with his line because it's going to be harder for him to work through lap traffic, it seems. At least that's what I've noticed throughout the race, is his line is slightly causing him that problem. Let's go back and look at some of the other cars. The Nickel in the 47 running 5th. Started 3rd, and he is now a lap down. First car a lap down. So if we get a caution, he's going to be the lucky dog at that point. 93 into the rear of the 7 car, slightly getting squirrely as the 47 goes around to the outside. 47 does not do anything, just trying to avoid a wreck, and the 47 to the inside is going to take that lead, take that position, which actually isn't a position because the number 93 is a couple laps down past him, but he's going to be a bit closer to getting back his lap. And will it happen is the question. That's what we have to figure out, and it will probably be of a caution if he gets one. That is a Camry. That is a Toyota, which is a late model. We've seen a couple other ones. We've seen a Mustang. We've seen a Dodge. We've seen that's a Camaro. Now we've seen a Camry. And if we look back through some others, we got a couple other just unmarked ones. We got the Charger. We got another Dodge. Got some good paint schemes. Just take a minute to appreciate them. That's what I figured, because everybody works hard in these series to get their paint schemes all situated for all these races, and everything gets situated to put these cars into this race. I mean, you know, you have to get out, you have to get everything situated, you have to do your paint scheme, you have to do all of that. It takes a lot. You just got to appreciate it all and get them out here and try to win. And that's what we're seeing right here, is the 89 is still holding on after getting down a couple of positions, back to 3rd, I think, at some points. Don't think he went below 3rd, but he's still running back up to 1st, as he is about a half a second ahead of the number 71 of Richmond. And Richmond is gaining on him about a 0.2 of a second each lap at the minimum, sometimes more. As we watch, they go into turns 3 and 4, as Richmond is now back to a 0.46 of a second, fractions of a second of a gap between him and Wright. This is crazy. Now, if we want to look at some other things here, let's take a look at how the temperatures have changed. It's gotten colder. Grip has changed. Everybody's been trying to warm up their tires for the beginning, and all of that mattered because now you have less temperature. It's getting dark out. If you look out here, let's take a look at some different camera angles. Look at the sky. It's dark out now. Temperatures are changing. Air temperatures are changing. Track temperatures are changing. Everything we see right now is going to be drastically different than what we saw at the beginning of the race. Because if we look at last lap times, they are getting slower and slower and slower as the race progresses. Usually that's consistent, but it's going to make a big difference right now because of the temperatures. Temperatures also kind of make them faster in their own way. Depends on the track. At this track, it's a mix. Depends on the driving style. We have got some 13.37s and 13.4s. Right now, our last lap times are running 13.7s and 13.6s, as well as some 14s even. Track temperature is changing everything. So it's going to change the way we see these drivers drive. If we look back here, they cannot be as aggressive. Now, apologize. I need to take a drink of water there. If we look at how they spin out in the 51 car, Fabian is spun out. See what happened there. Not much to say at this point because just a consistent line. This is a bit of a race where everything's happening but nothing's happening. Watch as the 51 gets hit from the 37 and out into the spins out. Nothing much he could do there. So watch back live. We're on a 6th caution of the day at lap 103, everybody. We are almost to the end as we are now 2/3 of the race through. Got 50 laps left to go, and we are going to, well, we're going to continue to commentate on this to the end, and we're going to watch the burnouts this time because last time we didn't get to check that out, and we want to see that because we're going to actually hopefully get to contact the winner if I can. If not, that will be next race for sure. We'll get to talk to the winner a bit, see what happened, see how I felt about the whole race as a whole. That's hopefully what I'm going to get to be able to do this time. Hopefully we can get a bit of contact with the actual drivers, see what happened. Right now, we're just watching as everybody's kind of just getting to the end. The race is dwindling down. Everybody's not as aggressive. And that's kind of where the lack of commentary is coming from. Because usually this gets more aggressive. That seems to be everybody's calmed down. Oh, 88. What just happened there? I think he's lost control of that. I think that's a need for a pit. I think he needs to be... I don't think that 88 can run that car, or he just did that on purpose. That 88 car does have his entire bumper missing, though. He's going to have a lot of damage at the end of this race. 88 is Lane, who started in the 7th position, now running in the 3rd. As we're now on lap 106, we're about to go green as we were watching from the back of the pack a little bit, or mid-pack rather. So we watched the 51, 93 right up on the rear end of the 88. Let's go back to some of these leaders. Let's go back a bit, actually mid-pack, and see what happens here. We got Allen in the 7 car, and 55 into the wall. 47, that was almost an incident that collected a few cars. 7 into the bumper to the 37, not on purpose. That's just trying to avoid that wreck that happened back there. And he gained a position from it. The number 7 and the 2. And number 7 is actually running in the 4th position. He's on the lead lap, and that was actually on purpose, I may say. Because he is trying to get back to the position up front so he can gain some momentum. As we watch the 7 and the 51 is kind of getting hard. We are 3 wide on a short track. That is a little bit crazy there. As the 88 goes a bit wide. 7 gets a good run. 88 is now in 4th as number 7 is in 3rd. The 93 of Donati is in between him and the leaders as the number 7 car goes to the inside of Donati. And Donati does not let him through very easily. As that was actually kind of a perfect let through, but not in the own way, because they squeezed him a little at the beginning, but let him through perfectly at the end. That's where you have to do traffic, and people are letting each other through at this point, but that's not fully how it always goes. Sometimes they don't. Oh, and Wright and Richmond are battling. Let's go look at that. They are side by side right now. As Wright is getting a good run through the corner, but 71 of Richmond is going to get a good run through the straight and good into the next corner. Bumper doors are touching, and you can see the sparks fly off there as we are getting a little bit touchy-feely there in the corners. as they're, again, side by side, lap 115 out of 150, side by side. Sparks a little bit there again, getting close, touching, rubbing is racing, as they say. That's a quote. If you don't get it, you need to watch it. Just look it up. um, and there is a... You need to watch this, because this is the consistency of short track. It is side to side for multiple laps. You cannot make a pass. Watch that, and they are rubbing. You can see the sparks off of that. That's not even their doors. That's just the things of them going through the corner. That's their bumpers. And they are side to side again through the corners. Lap 118 of 150. Richmond in the front. 89 of Wright into the again. Is 89 is coming through into this corner, and we have a caution as Wright seems to have been leading this time, and it seems to be Hendricks who crashed or got crashed. Or was that earlier? No, that must have been it. Yeah, into the wall. Hendricks got crashed again, got wrecked. As we go through and we watch him as the number 2 just hits him and he's out into the wall. That's rough, as he's had a rough race so far. He's already, well, he's how many laps down at this point? If we look at the gap, he's already 4 laps down. Hannick is 14. He's had a rough race now. He's one back from where he started. He started 10th, probably hoping he can get a good run through the race. And it seems to be not be happening right now. The 89 and the 71 pitting. Getting some good tires, good fresh tires for the last little bit of the race. As Allen stays out and Daly stays out. As well as Targi, Donati, Fabian, and Hendricks again. I apologize, I'm probably butchering some of these names, but I cannot speak apparently. What's to watch is the 71 gets a good pit stop and maybe goes a little too fast. Wonder if that's going to be a speeding penalty for him. As the 89 of Wright, I don't know what happened there, because Richmond is in front of Wright now by a long shot. Now we are about 125 out of 150. We have 25 laps to go. Now, let's take a look at some lap times. Lap times. Best lap times. Lap times. Said that. So, consistently, best lap times are said in the beginning. The 89 car, Wright cannot get a consistent run off the 37. And we are watching as the 71 and the 89 are running through the traffic as they just got off of their pit stops. As they are quite a bit off the lead pack. 89 is around. That's going to be rough for him as he is already on the lead lap. And Nickel is up into the lead lap and is now in 5th. As Richmond is now in 2nd. Daly is in. Daly's in 3rd. Lane is in 4th. Nickel's in 5th. Wright is in 6th. And that is all that are on our lead lap. The top 6 out of the 13. And we have Olmsted who is out. Olmsted has been out for a while of this race. I don't know what happened. He must have got a big hit there, because that's rough to happen in that early in the race. We have 25 laps to go, everybody. 8 cautions. What is going to happen here? Because we had 15 cautions in the first race. This is a lot less. We've had a lot of good green flag runs, and Donati is going to be coming back onto the lead lap, possibly. Or is that Targi? So I don't know. Donati is onto the 1 lap down now. And Targi is a lap down. Hoffenberger's 2 laps down. Fabian is 3 laps down. And Hendricks is 4 laps down. We'll see what happens from here, because this is going to be an interesting one. We have, again, top 6 actually is now, yeah, top 6 are the ones that started in the top, consistently started well. They all started really well. So it's going to be interesting to watch these guys battle for the lead, or like top 5 pretty much. Because only 6th position is the only one out of the top 5 that is on the lead lap. As we are going back to green, as the lights on the pace car are out, we are back to We are about to go back to green flag racing as the pace car is about to pull off. Let's watch it as they go off, and I am going to go on car cam with Richmond, who is our starter. He started starter up, rather. That's a bad way to say that. And we watch as they go through the green flag run. Green flag's back at Lanier at the high octane 150, everybody. And we have 21 laps to go. I think Richmond is now in front. If we go back to the regular cameras, Richmond is about to go in front of Allen as Wright is kind of gaining, but not as much. Oh, that was a light tap. Let's look at that. The light tap here saved it. Both of them. Good racing. Now we're back to 19 to go, everybody. Once we're at 10 to go, we're going to talk about a couple other things. Like next week's race is also going to be, we'll talk about that a little bit with about 10 laps to go, and then we're going to finish it off with 5 laps. I'm just going to straight commentate. And now, at this point, 18 laps to go. Richmond has a long lead off of him. Nickel is in third, coming up on Allen, who is in second, and we have some slight wrecking, as I think Nickel just wrecked. Nickel wrecked or got wrecked. Let us see what happened there. Nickel, Wright, and Allen are together as Nickel goes in and Wright slightly taps him after they do it. After Allen checks up, Nickel into the wall after Wright taps him. 9th caution today, 16 laps to go. Richmond had a good lead, but he's going to get caught, pulled back. Everybody's going to push back together, and we're going to see where this race goes, because Wright, the one who was starting first, is now in third. He's behind the number 71 of Richmond. Are they going? How is this going to start off? How is it all going to go? Is my question. We're going to see that in about a couple of laps of pacing. We're going to see that. Now, as they do this, we're going to talk about next week's race. I'm going to give a bit more of a heads up on the channel. I'm going to set up a broadcast date and time. It's going to start at 8 o'clock every time now, or around like 8 to 8:05. It's going to start there, and we're going to talk about it a little bit, and then we're going to start the race at 8:10. That is going to be the consistency for every race from now on. We're going to have the thumbnail. Everything's going to be set up by then. But I'm going to set it up and have everybody, let you all know the dates and stuff, and have that all set up about 3 days in advance. And as the lights on the pace car go off, that is all we need to talk about, because that's all there is. And with 13 laps to go, this is going to be the most important part of the race, because it doesn't matter where you were halfway through or where you started. All that matters is where you finish, because that's how it is. That's how racing goes. Now let's see who finishes first, who finishes second and third. And 71 gets a really good start, and the 7 gets pushed back slightly as the 89 of Wright is back into the second position. And we're back into our 10th caution as Daly and a couple others slightly got involved in an accident, I think. Yeah, it seems they got involved in an accident. Yeah, it was the Daly and the 55 of Hendricks, who's also been involved in about every wreck so far. He got off to a bad start, and 37 anticipated a good one, and it did not work. We're at our 10th caution with 10 to go. After this caution, it's going to be full push it hard. If you don't have a chance, because let's look at our leaderboard. The 71 of Richmond is right now, at this moment, he is in the standings first. Nickel is at the moment Allen is at the moment in 4th in the standings overall. Wright is overall in the standings at 9th, but he got 1st in the last race. And then Lane is overall in the standings at, where is it? He's at 5th, and then Nickel is at 2nd. These are all some of our contenders for the actual series. So we're going to have to watch out and see what happens, because this all matters to every single one of them, because this is going to matter. Every race counts, and Wright missed the first race, so this really matters to him. He's going to have to push it hard to get here to get a good finish. If he can get another win, back-to-back wins. Let's see if he can make it 2 in a row. We're going to see what happens there. Wright up into the second position after the Allen. 71 of Richmond is up in a pretty good lead. As 7 of Allen gets pushed a little bit out of the groove by Nickel. And 89, and they're wrecking back behind them, and it is now Richmond and Wright in the positions that are really going to matter. Let's take a look at that wreck. That was a rough one, because that was a lot of people involved. It seemed to have started with the 88 car pushing them up, and it was Nickel and Allen who got involved. And that's going to be rough. As we go back, it's going to be Richmond and Wright who are really going to matter. Who's really going to matter for this start, as they were the ones who started first and second. We're going to watch them battle for first and second with 4 to go, as we're going to have about 2 to go when it actually starts back up. Hard racing for 2 laps, and we're going to see how this goes. Everybody's kind of, I bet, everybody's counting it. Counting how many laps they have. There's only 3 to go. Now there's going to be 2 to go. We're only going to have 1 lap of racing, aren't we? No, the green lights are going to go out on the car here, I think. No. Yeah, we're going to have 2 laps of racing. Or, yeah, this is going to be the laps we're going to have of racing. It's 3 to go. 3 to go of racing. We're going to have a green-white checkered, it seems. Or, well, not a green-white checkered. We're going to have an extension overtime at this point. Hopefully we don't have really too many of these if we don't have another. And we're going to watch as Richmond and Wright, the 2 leaders, started second, are going to battle for this. As the pace car pulls off, let's watch this. As they start off, as 71 of Richmond gets a good lead, but 89 gets a better one. As they are right off of each other. 89 right in front. Richmond right door to door. They are right up on each other. 89, 71, and they are back to side by side as we go back into the final lap. And the 89, 71, who's going to take it home? Side by side, door to door. Who's going to take the lead? As it seems to be the 89 of Wright took it from Richmond by a .03 of a second. And that was wild to watch. Let's take a look at that replay of that, because that was a photo finish if I've ever seen one. Because right here is the line that they are going to cross. Right there. Right there's the line. Photo finish. Let's go back. Let's go photo fin. See if I can get this to work. And photo finish as we watch as Wright crosses the finish line first. You can see it probably better from this angle if you would like. Photo finish right there. That's crazy to watch, as that was insane. And we watch as Wright is going to sit down here. And that is the end of the race, everybody. Thank you all for joining us for the ARCS, or the Auto Racing Connected, the Lanier High Octane 150 of the Super Late Model Series that we have running every week on Wednesdays from about 8:10 to approximately 10:30 is our latest, but we usually get done about before then because we have every single day now. So we appreciate everybody joining, and I will get a chance to talk to the people racing next time, and if it is possible, I will get the chance to talk to people next time, and we will see you all then, and check in for the next stream, because it will be at the same time, 8 o'clock starting next Wednesday. See you all then.